It was such an outrage that they actually were starting to boycott Taco Bell because of a fucking Chihuahua. And be like, oh, why does he have to talk Spanish? Bitch, he's a Chihuahua. He's a dog that comes from a Latino background.
Where else do you get Taco Bell? Where else do you eat tacos? Latino community.
Yeah, like this. I understand some things are very touchy, but come on, grow a sense of humor. You know, let things bounce off of you. Why should you be so sensitive about certain things? Yeah, it may not be right. Mm-hmm. It may not be politically correct, or it may portray something that's not really something like you're saying right now. Why do we always portrayed as gay characters, or gangbangers, or fucking construction workers, or people who work doing landscaping? That's the jobs we take. That's what we come into. That's what we've been put into. That's the world of today, you know. Of course, the generation who came in and saw their parents struggle, of course, they're going to be in a higher position and they don't want to see that anymore. Yeah. But hey, your parents did this to give you a better life.
Mm. No, I think you're right. You're right. Yeah. I agree.
My dad works in a labor force. My mom used to work in a labor force. You know, I used to work in a labor force. I'm now in a better position. But at the same time, if that's the thing, be a leader. Don't be sensitive about the subject. Be a leader. Enforce. You know what? Let's make this. Let's change that whole dynamic of us being portrayed as this, and let's look at something better. Just did you ever see the movie Overboard with Eugenio Derbez and how they switched it around? It used to be it was a movie with Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn.
Yeah, he played the rich guy.
He played the rich guy, and you know,
I haven't seen it. It's on Movie Box, but I haven't seen it yet.
It's fucking really hilarious. Good? Oh my god!
I'm a big Kurt Russell fan, and I like Goldie.
This one is not gonna. It's not gonna steer you wrong because it hits home, and it makes you realize, oh shit, you know, he's put in a position where he realizes after he regains his memory, but he realizes not everything is about being rich. People actually put in the hard work. People will have to do certain things to get ahead in life. So, it's a fucking hilarious movie. You won't be disappointed, dude.
Probably watch it during the week.
We went to go watch it when my sister and her husband were here about 2 months ago. Okay. And we were just finishing eating and like, hey, what do you want to do? Well, let's go watch a movie. Okay, watch a movie. Let's go watch Overboard, the new one. I'm like, okay, let's go. Dude, it had me dying from beginning to end. That shit was fucking hilarious, dude. You will not be disappointed. Not be disappointed at all.
I mean, I didn't even want to watch it because I was like, I don't know. It's a Kurt Russell fucking movie. Like, I hate remakes in sort of ways.
No, this was good. I was the same way, but I was blown away, dude. It was fucking hilarious.
I'm gonna check it out then.
Good
for
movie.
Sure, check it out.
Yeah, but yeah, it's one of those things that like I said, a lot of things are very touchy subjects. It's just how sensitive we are to the situation. You have to know that it's not an attack on you. It's just how certain things have been put out. You know, that's how we've been pictured. Yeah. You know, there's nothing that we can change about it. Now we can because now we're a bigger presence. We are a bigger. I don't want to say threat, but we are being recognized even more.
We have
now.
A stronger voice.
Yeah,
we have a stronger voice now. Yeah,
as before that we didn't. So. I don't know, like that whole subject about that. Like, I wouldn't boycott it. I'd be up. I would applaud it, though. I wouldn't be like, well, why is a white guy playing this? But why did what's his face? God damn, I'm trying to blank right now with this fucking movie. Scarface. Al Pacino.
Tony Montana played a Cuban.
Cuban.
And a Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
He played Cuban.
In Carlitos Way, he was a Cuban. Yeah. So he played. Okay. Maybe at the time there wasn't someone in.
You look for a name. You just want someone a name on that poster. You look for someone. Yeah. But going back to the documentary, I think it was pretty good. And I was telling Brian, I can see why he committed suicide. I can see why. This is a guy who constantly needed to work.
Yeah.
He was a constant worker. Like he would, if he wasn't doing shows, he'd be doing movies. If he wasn't doing a movie, he'd be doing comedy specials or touring around the world, touring around California, around the United States, doing his comedy routines.
Stuff, yeah.
And I'm like, damn, like this kid was like, yeah, we would see him like 2-3 months at a time, back on the road. So I was telling Brian, I can see why he committed suicide. Because this is a guy that constantly was working, was constantly always trying to be active. I can kind of say he might have had ADHD, in a way. And you go and you're getting older. Less opportunities are coming your way now. And you get hit with Parkinson's disease. And what's one of the big factors of Parkinson's disease is depression and the loss of motor functioning, your brain. So I can see he's looking at like, I'm not getting the jobs anymore I used to get. Yeah, I can do comedy, but not as much as I used to. And I have this disease that's gonna deteriorate my body to the point where like my biggest muscle is my mouth, my mind, and those are the two things that are probably gonna go. So I could see why he decided to be like, you know what, I'm done. It's sad to say, I'm not, like I said on the show with Brian, I don't condone what he did, but I see why he did it.
It's sad. It really is really sad. You know, people who are in those positions, we won't know what they're feeling until if we ever get to be put in their place, then we'll know. Like, you know, a lot of people, it's sad. It really is sad. So, you know, when you have people who commit suicide, who, you know, don't want to deal with life and look for the easy way out, and this is what they do, it's unfortunate because so much is going through them that it hits a point where you just you give up. You just give up.
Yeah.
But that sucks. That really, really sucks, man.
I sort of shed a couple tears. I was like, damn, because they were showing old clips of like Dead Poet Society, Good Will Hunting, which I like Good Will Hunting as fuck. Aladdin, when he was in the studio with the headphones, and he ad-libbed some of the motherfuckers. Like he was like, you know, let me try this, and he did like multiple versions of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to. I mean, I don't know if they're in the DVD extras nowadays, but I would love to hear him. Like
probably. Yeah,
he just like basically just improv the whole fucking thing. Like he added more to the shit. Patch Adams, Jack. What other movie I forgot he was? Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
All the shit that was like, oh my god, like it's like I'm just getting this nostalgia of like, oh my god, I remember these movies, where I was at, Jumanji. I was like, damn, I remember where I was at watching these movies, what these movies made me feel, and this guy's like, it's like, you don't know him, I don't know him, I don't know him personally,
but he spoke to you.
But he spoke to me, and he's part of the stitches of your childhood, and made you the grown up you are today because of shit that he did. You know what thing he did, and I started laughing, and Crystal looked at me right away. Billy Crystal's his best friend.
Mm-hmm.
He would randomly call Billy Crystal and hope it went to voicemail and would leave him long fucking voice messages of random shit. Who does that fucking remind you of?
Who?
Me, I always fucking call you.
Oh, yeah.
Then I just call you like random, like, hey, I'm just driving here, fucking bored, and I'm fucking doing this. I do it to you and Brian. You and Brian are the two people I only do that to. I'm like, I gotta be bored out of my mind. I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna call him. I'm hoping you don't pick up sometimes. I'm like, I hope you don't pick up. You
call me sometimes at the most awkward times, so I can't fucking answer, and I put it.
And I just leave you a message. Yeah, and they were showing them. Billy Crystal saved those messages.
Wow.
And they were just doing like he would do impressions, or he'd be like, "Oh, I'm just driving here," and just start going into a big fucking rant.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife looks at me, and I'm like, I do the same shit to TTV Chubs, and I do that shit to Brian all the fucking time. I always hope they don't fucking pick up. I always fucking leave these fucking 5-minute rants on a voice message, hoping that I know it's gonna make him laugh. It's like grading material. It's gonna make him laugh, and I fuck like now I know where I got it from. This guy subliminally fucking taught me to do this shit.
That's funny. One of the good things that I liked about Robert Williams was that when he would do movies or he would anywhere that he would do something where it required him to be physically there to do work, his stipulation when he got onto the job was, wherever I'm at, you have to employ the homeless so you can give them jobs. So he would have the company or the production or whatever was doing the stuff go out and they would employ the homeless around the area to give them jobs so that way they can eat and stuff like that.
That's good. I mean, that's
like
who does that?
Yeah, who does that? No one does it now. No one does that. No one cares about what's going on outside of fucking where you're at. But yeah, anywhere he went, he would be like, my only thing is, if I'm going to do a movie with you, you employ the homeless that's around the area. And so they would do that. They would employ the homeless and they would have them work and stuff like that. A lot of the cast from Hook are homeless guys.
You would never have known. You would have never known.
Yeah.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it, I mean...
Warm meals provided by the company.
Catering, free catering,
yeah.
Eat what you can eat.
You're given money. You can probably go and rent a room so you can stay in a nice, have shower up, go to work again until the movie's done, and then hopefully that'll set you up to continue looking for something.
As a stand-in in other movies, yeah.
A stand-in, or even if you're not a stand-in, give you that facilitation. You know, I'm back, I'm working again, I'm earning money. Let me find a job. Give you that motivation, that push.
Yeah, motivation to buy that next rock.
Mm-hmm. Because a lot of these homeless, sometimes, you know, it's because they hit a rut or something bad happened to them and they can't get back on their feet because no one's giving them that opportunity. And that's what he did. He provided that opportunity for them.
Holy shit, that's a crazy thing. I didn't know.
I didn't know that until when he had previously passed away, when they were showing a lot of stuff about him. I watched the 1 hour special that they had about him, and that's one of the things that they said, that they were astounded that he didn't care how much he got paid. Most of the times, if he wanted to work with someone and they said, "Oh, we can't afford," he would take a pay cut to bring that person on because he wanted to work with that person.
That goes to the fact that he always wanted to work.
Mm-hmm.
He always wanted to work.
I think for Hook, he took a pay cut so Dustin Hoffman could play Hook.
Fuck it, man. That's a great ass Hook, though. But you know what? The fact, I think people think of him as a comedian. You know, that guy went to Juilliard.
Yeah.
He went.
My bad.
No, it's cool. You know, you want to touch me, it's fine.
Yeah, feetsies.
How many footsies all we want, bro?
Whatever.
Footsies all we want. But yeah, she went to Juilliard, all that shit.
Yeah, dude.
I recommend the documentary. I like it. I always like documentaries that give you that kind of emotion. Like, it just strung up a lot of strings of my emotion. I was like, oh fuck, I started shedding a tear. I think whoever did that documentary and the Andre the Giant documentary, best documentary I've seen this year. I saw the Andre documentary like 2 months ago.
Okay.
Fucking great. And this one, another great one. Liked it a lot.
Since we're talking about documentaries, since the other day I was home, and so I was just deciding what to watch. There's on Netflix. There's a Foo Fighters documentary about.
I keep watching it as a recommendation. Is it good?
It's good, dude, because it shows you his path of how he started off with Nirvana and how it took off. The whole like him committing suicide and whether, hey, I'm not gonna do music because of what happened, and then he starts up again, and he's doing the project, and he's like, well, maybe I can make my own band, but at a certain point, he hits a crossroad. Should I continue on with my project and try to make a band? Because Tom Petty reached out to him, and Tom Petty's like, I want you to be my drummer. So it's like,
oh shit,
do I continue to do this, or do I become the drummer for Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers?
Holy shit!
And and one of the things where I'm seeing the documentary, and his face is like, he says the one thing that I remember very, very, very vividly is me calling Tom Petty and telling him, hey, I'm not going to play drums for you. I'm going to focus on my work to start my band. And he hangs up the phone. He's like,
the fuck did I just do?
He's like, what did I just do? Did I just commit career suicide, or did I just make the best choice in my life?
Yeah, he looks back and how he made the best choice of his life.
Dude, yeah, he's had rough patches here and there. A lot of things with, band members that came and went, and how they got to where they're at, and certain there were clashes between the band members, whether they were going to stay together, they were going to break up, and it was just, he was like,
I think that band is so good. It doesn't it can have a revolving door of members. That band's still you don't even notice they're gone.
Yeah.
I was not aware that they went through a lot of fucking changes.
Yes.
Was not aware of it until I saw their mini series on HBO when they're recording
Sonic Highways?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I go, what the fuck? I didn't know you had this, man, bro. What the fuck? Like, when they were talking about it, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, when they started everything, the drummer for that band before Taylor Hawkins came in was from a different band with the bassist. So they both came from that band and joined Dave Grohl. They got rid of the drummer and they brought in Taylor Hawkins. they had Pat Smear, who was playing the second part of the guitar. He decided to leave because he said he was like